watch my channel regularly and have seen some of my other content, you will know that there's a few things that I suck at doing by myself. For example, I have no issue putting my washing on. I have no issue putting my washing out to dry. But once it is dry, I physically cannot put it away. I don't know what's wrong with me. It sits there in the washing basket for weeks before I can put it away, unless I have someone with me just to sit with me and make sure that I actually do it. Another one of these issues is sitting down to actually write my uni assignments. If you also watch my channel regularly, you'll already know this, but I have a bachelor's degree in politics, and I am currently studying a graduate diploma in humanitarianism. I have no issue sitting down to do sort of any other parts of my study, but when it actually comes down to just sitting down and doing the work, I need someone to sit with me to make sure I'm actually doing it. So I thought today we could work and study together. If you're a fellow student like me, feel free to put this on in the background and we can study together. If you are at work and need some motivation, I will be here in the background encouraging and cheering you on. Or if you just like computer tapping sounds, I am also here for you. Today we are working on a report about food security. I'm focusing on an island, or it's an archipelago actually, off Norway in the high Arctic. It's called Svalbard Island. The reason I wanted to focus on this island is not necessarily because it struggles with food security, although it does have a definitely unique set of circumstances because it cannot grow any food on the island due to the climate. So it's 100% reliant on imports. But the reason I wanted to focus on this island in particular is because it is home to the world's largest seed vault. And right now, that's a great thing because the seed vault holds backups to every single plant, food, flower, whatever in the world. But with climate change, the seed vault security and ability to keep these seeds safe is at risk, which is why I wanted to focus on this area. Let us begin. I'm not too sure how much talking I will be doing. For the most part, I think it's just going to be typing, and I might read some of it out loud. In this report, we have to think about our case study based on the human development context. And this is difficult because Svalbard Island's part of Norway, and they have sort of exceptional human development. They're the second highest position on the Human Development Index. Highest life expectancy, great sort of social welfare services. We also have to think about our chosen area and talk about their current food, nutrition and water security. So the historical context of Svalbard, it was originally a whaling base, and currently, as I mentioned, it's impossible to grow food on the island. Not only because of sort of the climate, but also because they have things called a polar night and a midnight sun, which is 4 months of 24/7 daylight and 3 months of 24/7 darkness. How do you grow food in those dark nights? And we have to talk about the causes. Also, the critical analysis through frameworks, which is annoying, but we have to sort of apply the frameworks that we've learned to interpret the food security situation. And obviously a conclusion. So right now, I have done the introduction, I've done the human development context, although I do need to sort of reword a few things. I've done the current context for the food and nutrition security. I need to work on the historical context, so that's what I'm going to do right now. laser trays. I found a website giving me the history, and I'm just trying to find it again because it was really helpful. primarily used as a base for whaling because there was a really high demand for whale oil. Before electricity was invented and widespread, street lamps used whale oil as their source of fuel because it burned slowly. But after the adoption of electricity, obviously whale oil was no longer in high demand, so Svalbard sort of shifted to be an outpost for Russian hunting. They hunted polar bears, reindeer, seals, Arctic foxes, various bird species and other animals native to the island. And Norway also used the island for hunting in the 19th century with cyclical hunting seasons, but people never inhabited the island for long periods of time. It was just more of an outpost. And they caught the food that they ate themselves. Since Word has incorporated stupid AI into their platform, I'll type words like it just happened with the word within and it would tell me that it's spelt wrong, but then you click and it's like there's no other suggestions because it's not spelt wrong. It's actually driving me insane. Like, please just leave me alone. I don't want AI, don't use AI. It's so frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna go through and edit just some. I'm gonna edit the human development section because I just feel like I haven't done a good enough job here. So Svalbard Island is part of the Kingdom of Norway, boasting the second highest position on the Human Development Index in 2023. In the 2023-2024 report, with an average life expectancy of 82.9 years since World War II, poverty has been on the decline, however, recently increased from 8.1 to 10.1%. Immigrants from Africa and the Middle East, 15%. More likely than someone born in Norway to face poverty. There is no current data on literacy rates in Norway from the OECD or other credible development organisations. Individual data specific to Svalbard is not available, however we can extrapolate data from the mainland, given Svalbard is included in descendant data. Svalbard has no native population due to the government banning the birth of children on the island. Anyone from any country can move to Svalbard due to an open immigration policy and zero visa requirements. However, its population remains under 300 people. Despite Norway's strong social welfare policies, public infrastructure is limited. Because of the remoteness and harsh climate, residents make little to no money through agriculture. Although hunting native animals is permitted by the Norwegian government, the meat is often eaten by the residents due to unsuitable growing and farming conditions, food suitability for dietary requirements, religious-based food exemptions, and ethical environmental-based food preferences may not be readily available, causing problems for residents with such requirements. So the reason I added that bit is because the definition of food security is when all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. So because the island, you can't really meet your food preferences, which includes the things I mentioned, like dietary requirements if you're celiac, or I don't know, lactose intolerant, if you have religious-based food exemptions, like you can't eat pork or you can't eat meat at all, and ethical environmental based. So if you're vegan, those food preferences may not be available to you, which obviously causes issues for people who have those food requirements. this section is asking me to think about what human development indicators are at play here. And what role does agriculture play in the economy, which is none. But because people don't grow up on the island, it's sort of difficult to say. This section's meant to be do 25 words and mine is do 29, so I'm gonna save it. Because when I was working on this document last week, I have this other document that I pulled up before with all my research, because I have them on separate documents. So at the end I go in and like add all the actual citations. Anyway, in this document I was so frustrated because my computer crashed and it deleted the document, so I lost all of my research. I was absolutely livid, as I'm sure you can imagine. I was so mad because I'd spent so long. It was like a 3-page document with just all of this research. I was so mad. Okay, let's fix up this historical section. It's meant to be 525 words. I don't have the causes right now, but so far I've got 352. I mean, I can't really change any of this. Svalbard is located in a high Arctic climate, permafrost covering 100% of the landmass in winter, thawing 1 meter during summer. Low temperatures, lack of precipitation, and barren ground soil leave native flora subject to short growing seasons. Non-native flora are unable to grow year-round. Due to the location, Svalbard also faces extreme light variations, 4 months of 24/7 daylight and 3 months of 24/7 darkness. The combination of both the weather and light variations ensures food cannot be produced on a large scale locally. The island relies solely on imported food, which is expensive due to high import costs and the remoteness. Monthly food purchase easily costing over £1,500, which is 2,474 Australian dollars. So I don't know what that is in US. Or, sorry, it's 1,500 euros. I don't know what that is in pounds or USD. Snowstorms and rough seas often delay importation of food by weeks, particularly impacting fresh food and meat. Due to the availability issues, people's diets rely heavily on highly processed, non-perishable or frozen food. The right to hunt on the island is granted to all residents, meaning a high meat diet is also consumed, which is not good. I should actually probably add this food suitability for dietary requirements into this section. there's like no data on sort of obesity on the island as well, which makes it difficult to talk about sort of the issues. And it seems like Svalbard Island is like not food insecure, but there are 4 sort of pillars of food security: availability, access, utilization, and stability. They are not meeting 3 of those. They're not meeting availability. Oh, two of those. They're not meeting availability because food cannot be grown on this island. They are meeting access because people technically have access to imported food, but they can't grow their own. They're meeting utilization, I suppose, but they're not meeting stability because of the issues getting the food there. The planetary boundaries are another big one that I want to focus on. And yeah. Okay, I don't think I can do any more right now because this class is having like a workshop where we're going to work through the other parts. So I did what I needed to do. It literally took me 5 minutes. I don't know why I have such an issue sitting down and doing this, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I will definitely do some more study with me stuff, especially when it comes to sort of the end of the semester.